What's going on, you guys? It's be your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and this is my girl, Niecy Dixon. Okay, and
Hey, hey.
we're here to see who was wrong. Oh, shout out to Josiah for that. He always do good themes and
The
all of this.
editing, the
Okay.
yes,
so
yes.
first things first, I got my girl Niecy here. I am so excited to do this. This is our first time doing something alone.
Yes, yeah. Usually when we do something, it'd be like
It's
eight other boxes.
Yeah. So we pretty much doing something alone for the first time. But on today's Who Was Wrong, we're here to talk about Nene and Cynthia, and Niecy chose this one. Like I say on every video, each guest that I have, they chose their own feud. So before we get into it, Niecy, why did you choose Nene versus Cynthia? I didn't think nobody would have wanted to
Oh
do this
God.
one. You the only one.
Really? Why? Why didn't you think anybody would want to do
Because
this?
nobody ever talks about, because all the other ones that's on the list, I'm like, ain't nobody gonna choose Nene and Cynthia. I'm just gonna put it on here anyway. But
I
you
remember when I responded, you were like, damn, you said that fast. But the reason why is because like I feel I went up for Nene. I really did.
hmm
And Cynthia was always seen to me as like the quiet one, peaceful one. And maybe it's just me projecting because Nene comes off as like very mean, and then you have the polar opposite friend that gets along with everybody. But at times, I did feel like Cynthia took advantage of her being polar opposite than Nene, even though she
hmm
moved funny sometimes, just in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get into this really quick. Well, not really quick, because I don't want to make it seem like we're just gonna be here for a split second and then we're gonna be gone.
Yeah,
We're about to go ahead and get into it. So Cynthia started on the Housewives of Atlanta during season 3. She came on, her and Phaedra came on the same season, and her and Nene really took to each other. Like they got cool real quick, to the point to where Cynthia decided to give this girl a friendship contract and all this other stuff. So when you first saw that, Niecy, what was you thinking in your head when she gave Nene a friendship contract? Because I know when that came out, that was 2010. So I was like 21 when that season started. I was looking at that like, that's back when I was really just saying anything that come out of my mouth. I'm like, this
yes.
is
You
ridiculous.
said that was 2010.
Yeah.
Okay, so if that was 2010, I'm not even gonna say how old I was because ain't nobody gonna respect what I gotta say. But whatever. When it came to the friendship contract, and maybe it was just me being childish, I didn't see nothing wrong with it. Low key. I remember at that time, I wanted my best friend to sign the friendship contract. I did. Because I was kind of thinking to myself, like, you know, whenever you sometimes it sucks like investing in any relationship and you don't get your return.
Right.
And female friendships are unnecessarily difficult sometimes. And I'm sure when you get into the age group that was Nene and Cynthia back then, she probably was like, okay, girl, if we gonna be friends, let's really do it. Sign this prenup agreement.
Okay, so wait. I want to piggyback off what you just said, because I really want to hear from your words, because I'm friends with a lot of females,
Mhm.
and I'm friends with a lot of straight males, and a little bit of gay males. Child, me and the gay dudes do not get along all the time. Child, when you
Not
see
a
me
little
with
bit.
some, they are lucky to be in my space,
Oh,
because listen, I do not get along with gay dudes too much, but the
mm.
ones you see me with are the ones I get along with. But however, why do you think it's hard for females to be friends? It's because y'all are so damn emotional.
No, I wouldn't say it's because women are emotional. Low key, I think it goes back to like, and I always blame it on this. I think it goes back to stereotypically how people raise boys versus how they raise girls.
hmm
And a lot of times, like Beyonce was saying in her album, I know it's not directly from Beyonce, is whenever they teach girls that they should be competition.
Mm.
So what the way that a lot of girls move, and I feel like it was really popular in like the 2009 2009 through 2013 like Instagram wave, like the brown Instagram symbol, when they used to
Yeah.
do them hashtag bad bitches link up. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So during that time frame, I feel like so many girls, and even today, they make friends based on clout, like on some Erica Banks type shit. So that's what I'm, yeah, exactly. So I would rather have genuine friendships around me, and they can be unnecessarily difficult because sometimes people just want to use you as a resource, and when women see each other as competition, that's what makes it difficult, not the emotional part of it.
You know what? That's funny because I feel the same way about gay males.
Mm,
Because gay males, like they say, women are catty. A lot of gay men are catty. And see, I'm not catty. I'm too
mm-hmm,
direct to be catty.
mm-hmm.
So I can't get with the cattiness, the shade, the I
The theatrics of it.
yeah. That's why Jamar always tell people that I'm a straight man caught up in a gay man's body. He say that
Get
shit
the fuck
all
out of here.
he say that all the time. I think Josiah said that shit too. They say that all the time about me, but I really feel like that shit true. Cause a lot of the shit that they be on, I don't be fucking on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like going to gay clubs and shit. Like I be off to myself. I just sit there and drink my drink. If some dude want to talk to me, then I give them some attention. But other than that, it's just like because
Mm-hmm.
there's some just like you said. Sometimes women see each other as competition. Sometimes gay males see each other as competition, and it don't even have to be like that. So.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah,
So
I think that's what makes it hard sometimes.
yeah, I had to ask you that because I've always heard women say that, and I've heard a lot of my female friends say it because like I'm in a group of friends where a lot of them are females, and then you have one straight guy, and then you have
Yep.
me, my cousin, and another guy that's all gay, and we get along just fine. But them
Hmm.
girls, oh my god, Jesus, it's always something with them. It's always
Yeah, I
been.
keep I keep the same ones around me, okay? The same ones. Cause I do not compare myself to nobody.
As you should. Okay, it's only one damn Niecy, and that's all the
And
Niecy
one
we
Scotty.
need. One. You ain't gonna never
Hmm.
find there another one of me now.
Period.
But so you said you wanted your friends to have a friendship contract.
Low key I did. And honestly,
Hmm.
like I saw myself in Nene when it came to this because
Hmm.
I had a best friendship like that where because I was so direct, I would come off as mean and
Hmm.
people would be afraid to approach me. Where on the flip side, I had a best friend that was real bubbly and outgoing. But when it came to like messy shit, she could use those connections she made because she was more approachable, sometimes to even isolate me further because people will be afraid to come speak to me. So throughout this whole series, like
You do
absolutely,
not give that to me.
I don't think so either, but maybe because when you see me, I'm in the avenue to be talking all the time. But like in real life, I have RBS. Like if it ain't nothing for me to speak about, I ain't gonna go and light up a room. So I'm just gonna sit there.
Josiah
So
said that about me on Boys Night Out last week. He definitely
he
said
said
that.
that about you.
Yeah, he said I have a resting bitch face. Like when I'm around, like when we was in Houston. When I came to Houston to see him back in August, we went out and we went. Me, him, and Jamar had went to like this house party or something like that. And we walked in the room, and Josiah and Jamar looked at each other. It was like, "Well, Scotty ain't finna say shit to nobody up in here." And I'm like, "Oh my
That's
god."
me. It must be something about us because we can hop on YouTube and be friendly AF.
Yeah, because when I walked in, I gave everybody hugs. I spoke, and then I went off and sat to myself until I felt comfortable enough to speak to everybody and talk to everybody and
Right. I
stuff.
have to observe a little bit before I'm
Yeah.
just so I don't know. But when it comes to that, like around the same time that I was going through this, I was in high school, which is around the time that I was watching this stuff happen with Nene and Cynthia.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like the beginning. The
Yeah.
beginning of the time I was yeah.
Okay, so after the whole friendship contract thing happened, it was pretty much the thing when you watch the Housewives of Atlanta that Cynthia's up Nene ass, Cynthia up Nene ass, then
Lab
Cynthia up
dog, lab
Nene
dog.
ass.
Like she was the first
And
lab dog.
the very first lap dog, because I was reviewing. I don't know if you know how long I've been on here, girl, but I was reviewing Real Housewives even back then, girl. I
You've
was
been on
reviewing.
10 years, right? A decade, right?
Yes, it's gonna be 12 years this month. Actually, gonna be 12. I've been
Ooh.
doing it. Oh Lord, long time. Ooh, don't watch them old video. Anyway, but I always felt like she did not have a voice outside of Nene. It's like
Hmm.
whatever Nene did, she did. Whatever.
Yeah.
It just came across that way, and I just didn't respect it. I guess I just did not respect it at all. So from season 4, 5, that's what the consensus was. Cynthia's up Nene ass. Cynthia's up Nene ass. We get to season 6. One of the first things that we saw happen between Nene and Cynthia, and I almost forgot about this. Nene even made Cynthia cry. It was something about Noelle having a boyfriend or some shit like that. Talking about having
Hmm.
her first boyfriend, and it was some event that Mallory was having, and I think they was talking about it with Nene, and Nene made her cry, and she said something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but she made her cry.
Hmm.
That was the first thing that happened season 6. The
Yeah.
second thing was they had
Let
that.
me ask you this: Was this wasn't whenever Noelle was walking in the fashion show with the backpacks, was it?
Was it? I don't. No, I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. Keep
I
going.
don't think so. I don't think so. Um. Then after that, that's when the whole ball happened. When Nene came up and said, "It's amazing how I've got so many good friends and don't know about it." And then Peter and Nene had they back and forth, and Cynthia stood in the background. That was the second
Hmm.
thing. And the third thing was there really was the straw that broke the camel's back for them. At that point, was they was in Mexico. And Nene came up in Peter's face and said, "You need to stop trying to be a
A
damn
damn
bitch,"
bitch.
which was
That
funny
was
as hell.
the first time. That's when he was first being Patricia.
Yes, yes. So Cynthia didn't appreciate it, but they got past it. But by the
Hmm.
time they got to the reunion, they went a step back. And I
Right.
really feel like they went a step back because they had to relive it again. Like they already got past it already, but they watched it back on TV. And it's like that's when when I only put myself in their shoes. You watching it back, and then you got all these opinions on social media. Everybody got something to say, and that kind of influences the way that you present stuff. And not
You
only
think
that,
that was why?
I feel like that's what it was, but what do you think? Because I feel like you got something you want to say, girl. So go ahead and say it.
It was because of that damn man. Um, it's because of Patricia.
Not Patricia.
Cynthia, like part of me feels when I watched the show, I was so irritated with Cynthia. I couldn't stand her ass, right? Because I really couldn't. Everybody else
Hmm.
liked her because she's just so sweet. But it's like, no, you gotta watch how she moves. Like her not having a voice made her co-sign a lot of the bullshit that was going on, whether it was
Hmm.
Nene talking shit or Peter talking shit.
Hmm.
Now, I think she was this way because of Peter, and the reason why I was saying I feel sad for her is because it's giving abuse victim. I remember she was saying her mama was an abuse victim, and a lot of times I feel like you see women who are abused go up and protect their men by any means necessary. And unfortunately, I feel like that might be part of the reason that she was drawn to Nene, because in avenues where she was too afraid to speak, she knew Nene would do that for her. Now, the
Hmm.
minute Cynthia got a man, that's when she was willing to be like, Nene, I don't need you no more. Now Peter is my voice. And the
Hmm.
only reason why she turned up was because she had Peter. That's the same reason why she kicked Portia on that boat. She would have never kicked Portia on that boat had she been single. Never. Never.
You are dragging.
I'm telling you, I felt some type of way, and I feel like nobody ever dragged Cynthia for the things that she was willing to co-sign on throughout this whole Nene versus Cynthia. People just waited until the very end and was like, "Oh, Nene's acting out. Nene's this. Nene's that." Cynthia co-signed a lot of it just simply because she wouldn't use her voice.
That is true. That is true. But that's the reason why I couldn't stand her either. So we're on the same page with that because for a long time I did not like Cynthia because I felt like she did not have a voice. And I feel like she co-signs and flip-flops here and all this other shit. It's just like, girl.
And I also don't feel like Nene made her be her lapdog. I
Yeah.
honestly just think that that was the dynamic of their relationship because Nene was so strong, so powerful, so vocal when it
Hmm.
came to that. And Nene, I mean not Nene, Cynthia was, a little bit more submissive in her friendships and relationships.
That's true. That's true.
But you turn up when you got that man behind you, don't you?
And not to mention at that reunion, so we talking about that at the reunion. And Nene said she felt blindsided by Cynthia.
Hmm.
Do you agree that she was blindsided by Cynthia?
Blindsided by, oh, you mean how they was cool, they made up, then she got an attitude?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I
Because
do think so.
she said they had went on vacations together, they were cool, but they had not talked in weeks. And by the time they got
Mhm.
to the reunion, she saw a different thing with her. And I don't like that shit. Like, for me, if I'm cool with you, or if I'm friends with you, if I did something to you, I always say, I know my mouth. I know sometimes I can offend people and don't know I'm offending them. That's
Mhm.
just a character flaw of mine. I always say that. I say, look, if I offended you, please tell me that I did that, because I never want to do that on purpose, because I'm not a shady person. So it's like,
Right.
if I offended you in any way, just tell me that and I would definitely apologize. I'm not opposed to doing it, especially if I hurt someone's feelings or if I made someone feel a way about something. I
Mhm.
don't like it when I may have offended you and didn't know that I did, and then you start acting different. Like,
Well, you know what's funny about it is you say, hey, you say
you
that
are rocks in these dogs, child.
they be doing too much. But what's funny about it is you're the person on the flip side. I'm the person who won't say nothing to you. I'm the person who won't say nothing to you because I don't know. Maybe it's a Scorpio in me.
It
But
gotta
I
be.
like to, it has to be. I like to, like, when it comes to vulnerability, I only give that when I feel safe. And if
Mhm.
somebody has crossed, like most people, it might not just be a Scorpio thing, but if somebody has crossed me, I don't want to be vocal about being hurt. That's the
Mm.
thing. And then I also feel like if I do choose for you to be my friend, then in my mind, I should have already vetted that you would never do something to upset me, which is not really realistic. But
Mhm.
that's how I. It's not because people upset me and everybody all the time, but I really don't like to give people exceptions on that. But I don't think that's what Cynthia did in this case, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah, cause I be feeling like sometimes, like, I hate it when someone is upset with me and I don't know why, and then they start being real passive aggressive and shit. Like, I can't
Mm,
stand. That's one thing that I cannot
I won't
stand.
do that. I won't be passive aggressive. I'll just go
Yeah.
ghost. I'll just
Yeah,
go
that's a
ghost.
Scorpio thing, because my cousin Reggie's a Scorpio. That's the shit he do. Okay, that's the shit he do.
Ain't nobody
But
got time to be passive
because
aggressive.
it's like, because I know that, like, because I'm so vocal about shit. I know that there is a possibility that I probably did said something that I didn't really mean for it to come off a certain type of way. Because the way I say shit can come across the wrong damn way, and it's not the way I wanted it to. So it's just like,
I understand. I'm the same.
yeah,
I'm the same way.
yeah. So I get what you're saying though. But also, Nene went on Watch What Happens Live, and she said that Cynthia needed to be fired. She said she wasn't bringing nothing to the show. Now I thought that was fucked up.
You thought that's fucked up? These people gonna hate me. Scotty, these people gonna hate me because I am capping for Nene. Like, not even capping, I'm going up for Nene. I didn't think that was fucked up. I'm sorry.
Why? Even
Um,
though she wasn't bringing nothing to the show, but still.
Period. That's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing. Because
Oh my God.
if you gonna step on this reunion, and I'm telling you, what changed between them making up and them at the reunion was Peter.
I agree.
Cynthia was
I
probably
agree.
over it, but Peter wasn't over it. So because Peter wasn't over it, in order to not cause discourse in her marriage, she decided to continue to be mad on Peter's behalf, which to me is weak as fuck. And in that situation, if I was Nene and you've done me like that, oh, well, we enemies now. You don't know me. I'm treating you like somebody off the street. And the streets are saying that you ain't bringing nothing to the table. So give your seat up. And that's why I didn't think it was fucked up.
Ooh, you are a Scorpio to your soul. Ooh, you a Scorpio, baby. Ooh, Niecy. I swear. And you a November one at that.
Yeah,
Ooh.
11/11.
Ooh. My friend, my homegirl, one of my best friends, she a November Scorpio. She do that same shit. Like, she's a She's a November Scorpio. My cousin Reggie is also a November Scorpio. They do the same shit. But what's funny is Lamar is a November Scorpio, and he is just completely opposite. He don't. He seems.
He might have a different like rising and moon. Who
He got a
knows?
Gemini moon, and
That's it.
he has a Leo rising like I do.
That's it. For me. If you look at my chart is like Capricorn, Scorpio, 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 Pisces.
Oh my goodness.
Hmm.
And see, that's what Jamie was talking about one time. I think we were hanging out one time, and we were talking about zodiac signs, and I was like, I'm an Aquarius, and I said I got
I
a
remember.
Taurus moon, and she said some shit like, "Oh, that's why you be holding grudges. That's why you be holding grudges. You got that Taurus moon. That's why you be holding grudges."
Yes, yes, that's true. That's Taurus. Taurus and
Oh,
Scorpios are sister signs, so I know. Yeah, you probably be holding grudges.
I will hold one. I swear I will. Even though
Me too.
I'm saying I will now, but later on I'm gonna say I don't.
And that's the Aquarius taking over.
Yep. But oh my god, I'm so tickled at you right now.
No, I just feel like people are going to hate me, but I have to do it because nobody did it back then when all this stuff was going on. Nobody went up for Nene. Everybody went up for Cynthia because everybody saw Nene as like the big bad bully, the big bad wolf.
Hmm.
And it's like if don't nobody else want to speak up, that's on them.
That's true. That's true. That's true. So they go into season 7. They're not talking. Then it's like this dinner that they had. Like I said, Candy threw a dinner. They want to talk about the friendship. Nene said, I'm not about to talk about me and Cynthia friendship with a bunch of people that don't give a damn whether we were friends or not. Blah, 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 blah. So everybody got up and they let them talk. They hugged it out, whatever. They also apologized to each other because there was another dinner that was had with Nene, Cynthia, Kenya, and Portia. And then
Mm,
Nene and Cynthia were on the same page, but Kenya and Portia were not on the same page. But then they went to Candy's bedroom candy party, and it's like, Nene and Cynthia thought her and Nene were good, but Nene still wasn't fucking with her like that. So it
yeah,
continued on throughout the season. And then, that's when Cynthia got with Kenya and Claudia and Demetria, and she turned into a whole different fucking person. And I was really dragging her in my reviews. I was dragging the shit out of Cynthia that whole season.
yeah,
Then they had that therapy session with Dr. Jeff where Nene stormed out at.
yeah.
And then we get to the reunion, and Nene and Cynthia are going back and forth up until Nene had that breakdown talking about her mom and stuff. And Cynthia
This
was
is
one.
you skipped over the bedroom part, right? The bedroom, the sleepover, the
Yeah,
pajama time. Yeah,
yeah.
I
So
couldn't stand Cynthia for that either.
then, then so
Could
then
have.
they it seemed like Cynthia got up to to comfort Nene when she had
Hmm.
her breakdown, and then that was it. So we get into season 8, and Nene comes in mid-season, and then we find out they friends again. Then once she
Yep.
become friends with Nene again, that's when she start treating Kenya a certain type of way, and I was really
Yep.
dragging her ass then. I ain't even like Kenya back then. I'm like,
Yes.
how you gonna sit up here and wait till Nene come back around to just push Kenya away? But Kenya should have known she was a placeholder
Yes.
for
She
Nene in
was
the first.
keeping Kenya in her back pocket. Like
Mm-hmm.
the way Cynthia moves like an abuse victim, honestly. Nene, she does. It's sad. I'm not even trying to be funny because she might have experienced that, but it's like she kept Kenya in her back pocket for the sake of not like think about it this way. The way that she treated Kenya
Mm-hmm.
when she was cool with Nene is the same way she treated Nene when Peter was mad. She prioritizes. It was Peter who was you had a man makes you feel fulfilled, make you feel like you want to get nuck if you buck. And then Nene was that for you because she could be your voice, but you knew that Kenya triggered her. I never really felt like Cynthia and Kenya's friendship started out at least authentically, or either she felt like she had to, let Kenya be the sneaky link. She had a creep.
Not a sneaky leak. Niecy,
Mm.
I am hollering.
That's how she was treating Kenya like a sneaky link. Like nobody could know they was friends.
It's the fact that you putting it in that form of words, and I'm agreeing with it because I never would have thought about it like that at all. Oh, girl, I'm glad
Yeah.
I did this one
And
with
that's
you.
the thing. Like for me, and this is what I need people to understand. Like I go up for Nene when it comes to the Cynthia situation, but I never disliked Cynthia for being friends with Kenya because I always thought that the hate that Nene had for Kenya was a little bit unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
I was upset that Cynthia didn't have enough balls to be friends with Kenya loudly. Like I always just wanted her to use her own voice, and to me, like it was just weak. You moving real snake like.
Oh, okay. Well, you said that, girl. Oh, I'm glad you picked this one now. Oh, because it seemed like we both on the same page with this. Uh, so then we're going to season 10. And they cool. Ain't nothing going on. But then we get to season 11 and they was cool then up until the very end. Now,
Yes.
there was this Seagram's thing that Cynthia was having,
Ooh.
and Kenya popped up, and
She
Nene was
said, "You look
thinking
like a
about
moose. You look like a moose. Are you carrying a moose?" Oh,
it.
I
So,
remember.
did you feel like Nene had every right to be pissed at Cynthia when Kenya showed up?
Absolutely not.
I feel
Nene did not have every right to be mad at Cynthia. See, this is the thing. I think Nene. Now I sound like a hypocrite because I said that I don't think that Nene was like making Cynthia be her lap dog. I
right.
still don't think Nene was making Cynthia be her lap dog, but I think she was just used to Cynthia's blinded loyalty. And to her, it was actually a cross that Kenya was there. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just like, why? She kept trying to say she's not on the show. What is she here for? And it was really just the fact that you don't like Kenya. And that was just crazy to me. Nene, I'm not gonna say that she is like without fault. She do got some fault. Like this is when Nene started getting fucked up to me
Mm-hmm.
because Nene had this like inflated sense of self. In
She
the
did.
earlier seasons, she was a big personality. It was very authentic. Towards the end, she started demanding stuff. Like when she didn't want Kenya at the party, that was a demand. So
Yeah.
imagine the shit that she went through behind the scenes with production. Ain't that also? That's also whenever Cynthia lied and said, I didn't know Kenya was gonna be there while she whispered to her man that Kenya was coming. Case in point, after that, and you might ask me about this next, because
Mm-hmm.
I remember this is when I was all the way through and I wanted Cynthia gone, but low key I wanted Nene gone too.
Yeah.
Case in point, after the sequence party is when they met up one on one in a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And they tried to get back on the same page, but it was almost like Cynthia was still standing firm in her lie. Cynthia also felt like she didn't have to explain anything to Nene. And the thing about Cynthia is like she is a sponge. She soaks up whatever people tell her. So
Mm-hmm.
all that smoke that she had with Nene and she finally used her voice was because she had a man. It's because she had Mike Hill. It's the same way. Like I said, it go back to when she kicked Portia on the bus. So it's like Cynthia, you didn't have to explain nothing to Nene. But the way I felt, I was still upset because it's like, why do you wait until you have a man to do that? Also wanted Nene to leave because Nene had made herself so unpalatable, so distasteful. Like she was just doing the most. It was like even hard to be Team Nene at that point. It was like she
Yeah.
had ruined her reign.
She did. That was her
Kind of like
last
how the
season.
people say Nicki Minaj is doing.
Yeah, that's exactly what she was doing. That's
And
exactly
they
what she
both
was doing.
Sagittarius.
Right. Y'all talked about that on the ladies' first panel because I was listening to it when I was at work when I was
Mm-hmm.
supposed to. But I listened to it when I was at work. I said, "Oh, I had so many." I was like, "Oh, I wish I was in them comments because I had so much." I'm like, I agree with every damn thing. Okay, so since we're basically at the end, because that was pretty much the end right there. And all in all, who was wrong in Nene versus Cynthia? Was it Nene? Was it Cynthia? Or was it a draw?
Mm. I didn't think you were going to give me that option. I'd have to say it was a draw.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say it was a draw. And I know this whole damn video I went up for Nene, but I'm going to say it was a draw. I feel like what we saw was a toxic relationship with two complementary toxic ass personalities. You got the submissive best friend who's willing to sign contracts, go up for her man. You got the big ass personality who just want people to, blindly follow her.
Mm-hmm.
And they both, didn't really they complement each other in a negative way. And what I really wanted to do, which is why I chose this, was to bring light to the other side of things because so much so, like so often people only look at who's the loudest. Like when you get into an argument with people, I don't know, maybe again, I might be projecting. But whenever somebody do you wrong or somebody does yeah, when somebody does you wrong, people are tended to be drawn to the person in tears and not necessarily the person who's never crying. It's like that doesn't mean she wasn't done wrong, and I low key think that's why Nene started crying towards the end of her reign.
Uh-huh.
At the beginning, we never seen Nene cry. Nene would be hurt; she would never cry. But towards the end, I feel like when she wanted to manipulate people into
Mm-hmm.
seeing her in a different light, she couldn't do it, so she started to cry, and
Right.
it didn't work. So for me, I'm just gonna call it a draw.
I agree. I agree. I think they both did things that was a detriment to their relationship. I think that originally Cynthia allowed Peter to get in her ear, and that's what kicked
Mhm.
it off. But
Mhm.
Nene also did some things that was detrimental to the relationship as well. So I agree wholeheartedly with you on this. As a matter of fact, I didn't realize how much we was going to agree on this because we agreed on just about every fucking thing that was.
Didn't Cynthia even do the same thing to Kenya though? When it came to that fucking Kenya even when it came to the dude Will who she was
Mm-hmm.
dating who was on another dating show, and
Mm-hmm.
they tried to tell her that he didn't really want her like that, and she tried to get
Mm-hmm.
the attitude.
Right.
I'm just saying,
Oh, I'm so glad somebody else saw Cynthia the way I saw her. Oh my God. I thought I was the only one. Oh, Jesus.
that's why I just felt really passionate about this, and I had to give my whole thesis.
Well, however, this was who was wrong. And Nisi, thank you once again for doing this with me. I definitely appreciate it because you know you're my girl.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Okay.
I'm still pissed because we didn't get to see each other when I was in Dallas. I came to Dallas sick as fuck, Nisi.
I wish you would have told me when you came because I definitely would have told you not to go to Frisco. I mean, Frisco is nice, but if
Yeah.
you were coming to Dallas, I wouldn't have told you to go to Frisco. I would have actually told you to stay in Dallas.
Cause see, they had already picked. Cause see, we was there for my friend's birthday, so he had already picked the hotel room and all that other stuff.
Mm,
So it was out of my control, but
okay.
that's the only reason I was so mad. Cause I came there sick. I was sick the whole time I was there, and then that Saturday night, I stayed in bed while the rest of them went out. I just like,
Oh, that was a good weekend too. I was at Turkey Dam, hookah in one hand, drink in the other hand.
but I know I'm coming back there, so we'll have another chance. Cause I'm always like Atlanta and Dallas, and now Houston. I'm always back and forth between these three places, so I'm gonna be
Yeah, I
back.
know you got them flight miles.
I do.
You be booked and busy.
I try to be, but
Hmm.
thank you once again for tuning. Not for tuning in. Thank you once again for being up here with me, and thank you to everybody that tuned in. Make sure y'all follow Nisi. Let them know where they can find you at and what they can expect from your platform.
Niecy Dixon everywhere. I review Love and Marriage Huntsville, Real Housewives of Potomac is about to start. Didn't review the first episode because it was dry as fuck. Um, and what else is on? I think that's it. I just finished Bell Collective and Married to Medicine. So whatever's on TV, y'all go ahead, catch me. Follow me Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, everywhere at Niecy Dixon.
All right, you guys, and we are out of here, and we will see you on the next one. Bye, y'all.
Bye.